Hey y'all, this is Lauren Akins and welcome to season 3 of the Live and Love podcast. I'm so happy to be back. This season of the podcast, we are sharing conversations all about parenting, and I'm a mom of 4 girls, as you know, and so parenting is just really the biggest focus in my world right now. So I'm taking time to sit down with fellow parents, parenting experts, and my village of family and friends that help me raise my girls to talk about what it looks like to live in love while parenting.
And I'm Annie F. Downs. I'm so excited to be here in this 3rd season of the Live and Love podcast with Lauren. If you haven't subscribed yet, listen, we are just getting rolling on season 3. Y'all got to jump in with us and go back and listen to season 1 and 2. We don't want you to miss a single episode of the show. And if you haven't read Lauren's New York Times bestselling book, Live and Love, it is time you got it. Feel free to pick up a copy at your favorite local bookstore or wherever you love to buy books. Now, Lauren, today's episode is really important and may cause a lot of emotion and a lot of feelings, but you thought it was really important that we have this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have so many friends that don't parent regularly like I do, so I think today is like so important to speak to those of my listeners and my friends who can relate. And so on today's episode of our Live and Love podcast, we are sitting down with Lindsey and Kate Coleman to talk about what it looks like to live in love while you are single parenting. I cannot believe we are already in the month of June, and I'm so excited to dive into today's episode. But before we do, I wanted to share more about what our partners of the podcast, Earth Breeze, are doing this month. If you have kids or a big family like mine, there's a lot of laundry to do, like all the time. And I would love to try and make life around the home easier and have less clutter because of the amount of people we have in the house. And that's why I'm so glad I found Earth Breeze for our laundry needs. 91% of those awkward, heavy jugs end up in landfills and oceans, harming our planet and marine life. So by making the switch, I know I'm helping out in some way. Earth Breeze laundry detergent eco sheets look like dryer sheets, but they're not. It's a revolutionary liquidless laundry detergent that dissolves 100% in any wash cycle, hot or cold. No measuring, no mess, and no heavy plastic jugs. Just toss the sheet right in. And Earth Breeze has really made the whole concept of detergent just better. The packaging is lightweight, biodegradable, and plastic-free. It's great for all laundry lifestyles, even sensitive skin. Their eco sheets are hypoallergenic and dermatologist tested. They're also compatible with HE, high-efficiency washers, gray water system, and is septic safe. They're delivered right to your door via free carbon-neutral shipping at a frequency you can set that works for your unique lifestyle. Most importantly, you still get a powerful clean. Earth Breeze is tough on stains, fights odors, and your clothes come out clean every time. I may have 4 girls, but their clothes still get just as dirty, if not dirtier. So I need to know I can wash it one time and trust it's coming out clean and mess-free. Don't just take my word for it. You can try for yourself with their risk-free 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it, Earth Breeze will give you a full refund, no questions asked, and no return necessary. Switch from the old-fashioned goo to something new. Right now, my listeners can subscribe to Earth Breeze and save 40%. Go to earthbreeze.com/liveandlove to get started. That's earthbreeze.com/liveandlove for 40% off. earthbreeze.com/liveandlove.
Okay, Lauren, so we are here with Lindsey and Kate, 2 dear friends who are single moms. And that was important to you that this be an episode in this Live and Love parenting season. Why is that?
Well, I think so much, not in my personal life. You know, Thomas Rhett is doing the parenting thing with me, but I also have friends who that's not what their home life looks like. They are doing a lot of it solo. And even I think moms who aren't necessarily totally solo but have periods of their life.
Road widows.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of it is important to talk about in conversations because so many moms' lives look different, and that's okay. But I think all parts of that needs to be explored, talked about, so that people do know that they are seen and heard and not alone, and what that looks like.
Yeah. So, Lindsey, will you tell us your story?
Sure. I am single. And about, I guess, a year and a half ago, I became a mom. So I was in my 40s and realized I had not found my partner yet, and realized I didn't want to miss out on motherhood. And so I started the process of exploring what it looked like to become a mom through fertility. So I actually went to Nashville Fertility. Kate went with me to my first appointment.
Yes.
And I was like, I need somebody to come with me that will ask all the questions and help me, like, just make sure I capture all the info. And that's, like, one of Kate's, like,
Gifts.
superpowers.
Yes, for
So,
sure.
Ask all the questions.
Ask
Yes.
all the questions. She's definitely been on this journey with me, but she's actually there in the delivery room as well.
Yeah.
Through fertility, became a mom and have been, and he's just the cutest, best thing ever. So I would say my story's a little different than a lot of people because I chose motherhood in a season of singleness. So there are probably things that make that easier and things that make that harder.
Kate, will you tell us your story a little bit?
Yes. Okay. I have 4 daughters, 15 to 8. I got divorced, separated January 2021. Divorce was final last year. So, yeah, that's kind of how I became a single mom. Not the journey I would have chosen for myself or my kids, but we're doing it. Like, and it's hard and challenging, but also really beautiful that I am getting to, like, steward these beautiful souls through this journey. And I have, like, friends like Lindsey and a whole host of other friends who, like, help me during this process. So
Yeah, we just had an episode on where Lauren's friends that are kind of her village around
yeah,
her kids were on. Will y'all talk about how important it is for you that there are others of us that are in your kids' lives as you are single parenting?
there are several people, Lindsey included. My sisters live in town, and that has been a huge blessing. My sister Evelyn moved from North Carolina, 2 years ago, and I can honestly say I wouldn't be here without her. Like, she has
Yeah.
helped me a ton, and also I have a wonderful babysitter, Sierra, who also, honestly, right after through it, when I was going through everything, had to really step in a lot to be, their second mom a
Yeah.
lot of the time, and, like, would drop anything and come and help me. I'm very blessed to have a lot of people who I can say could call, and if I was like, I need you right now,
Yeah.
they would be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lindsey, how have you experienced other families stepping in, being helpful?
Yeah, it's just been amazing. And I think it just has, like, Ben being 16 months old, obviously I've got a job that is totally consuming as well, and have to have a job to make life work and pay bills and things like that. So there's not really a choice for me there. My work has been super supportive, but just the people that have shown up in my life feel like God's grace. It's like for every step of the process, there have been people that have come alongside me. I mean, Kate did watch the really awkward Zoom as my partner on the, because she was going to be like my birthing partner, the Zoom of, like, how to do heavy breathing and prenatal massage and stuff like that. So it was hilarious doing it with a friend.
It was. And just the looks of the other people,
Yes,
like
trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And, like, the nurses that would come in the hospital, I would, like, very quickly tell everybody our story just so they, like, understood what was happening. Because they were trying to make sense of it. It was Kate and another one of my best friends, Carrie Martin, who came up from Birmingham, and everyone was just trying to figure out, like,
where
The dynamic.
who fits where.
what is this?
Yeah.
So it's just been amazing. And, like, one of my best friends, his mom doesn't have any grandchildren yet. And, like, the way that she, in this season of life where she's used to being a caretaker, is able to utilize her time and gifts with Ben, who just, like, break my heart thinking about it. You're like, it's just so cool to see the people that can and will show up. And there is, I think, because I knew I would need help going into it, it's really allowed me to, like, invite people into the journey in a way that feels so beautiful. And, like, I feel like Ben is, like, a gift for my community in the world, and I just want people to experience the joy that he brings.
He is a gift.
He is.
So sweet.
So are your girls.
They are
So sweet.
amazing.
They are awesome.
And they love Ben.
yeah. Oh, the pictures are so sweet.
Abigail made a playlist for his birth.
Oh,
It was pretty awesome.
Really
so sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, Lauren, we've had your mother-in-law on the podcast, and she, for a season, was a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've experienced this too. Talk a little bit about what you've seen about the strength of mothers through even your own mother-in-law.
You know, it's funny. We were actually, her and I were just talking about this the other day. We were talking about it in the way of like feeling guilt for things as a mom. And that's something that we also talk about this season. But she, in her 50s, even still struggles with, am I doing this right? Did I do this right? And I think that she definitely had those struggles as a single mom as well. But I think the strength in her came from her acknowledging her weakness and saying, like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I need help here. I'm scared for this or that. And like bringing that out into the light and acknowledging it, I think that was her strength, you know, like having that community around her to where she felt like she can ask the hard questions or say things that she feels. And that's where she drew her strength from, or the people around her to be like, hey, you're not alone in this. And like, we are standing with you and you can do this. You're doing a great job. You are their mother. Like, God made you for these children. And in this moment, you know, like he's got you right where he needs you, and he's holding your hand the whole way. And so are we.
Yeah.
And I think that is so powerful that so many single moms do well, and it feels scary to do those things
Totally.
and not sure
Yeah.
where to
It's a lot.
start. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every day, minute sometimes. I'm like, I got this. I'm great. And then what am I doing?
I know.
I'm failing at that. And that's just not single. I think that's just motherhood.
Yeah.
Of like, I feel there's like little tiny victories every day. And then you're like, oh my gosh, am I really messing them up?
Mm.
I'm probably not.
It's why we all just need to go ahead and save for a therapy fund.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even the perfect parents are gonna like.
My kids are already in therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
create
And we
it.
just had David Thomas and Sissy Goff on from Daystar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Kate, is mom guilt changed from when you became a single mom?
Yeah, it has. Because when I have them, I mean, I have them probably 70% of the time. And sometimes more, like my ex-husband was just out of town for 10 days. And he does that quite frequently. So it is, I want to have my time alone, but I also know that like it's so limited.
Mm-hmm.
So then I do find myself like, well, like I need to do this, but I feel bad that I'm not spending that time with them when I know they'll be gone for 4 days. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I have also, like, I have different moments of like, no, this, like, for you to be the best mother you can be, you also need to like take time and do self-care and go work out
Yeah.
for that hour. Because you know when you get back, you'll be better for it.
Preach,
and just
preach,
for like for them to see you taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And not always just, you know, sacrifice, you know, for them. I think it's important for them to see me take care of myself as well.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because I think if you elaborate even more on that for moms listening that have not taken that step because it feels selfish. It's actually not.
It's
even
not
out
selfish.
of like your selflessness, loving your kids well is taking care of yourself so that you're able to care for them well.
100%. And talking to them about that. Like I will say this, I need to do this for my mental health. I need to go to hot yoga because that's how I process. A lot of tension comes out during that. So I will be better and more focused on you when I get back if I can go do that.
Yeah.
And they are so understanding, my kids are.
Oh.
I mean, I have a 15-year-old who still really likes me.
Yeah.
Like, she slept in my bed last week.
Oh.
You know, like, I feel like, I mean, who knows if she'd be like that if we were still together? I don't know. But, like, I think she would be.
She would be.
She's a sweet girl.
Yeah.
But I have just honest conversations with them and can say, I feel guilty about this. And them say, you shouldn't. So I think all the moms out there should take the time, but be honest with your children about why you need that time.
So what does it look like? So Ben is a year and a half?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. So, I mean, when the kids are that little, how do you take time for yourself when it's just you and a toddler?
Yeah, I'm in a tough season with it right now.
Yeah.
Like it is a lot of times getting a babysitter. Like my day to day, like some nights of the week, and just like being gone.
Yeah.
So like I went and met out with some friends last night, and it was just like nice to. Like,
But last week when we all
and
went
adult.
out, he was with us.
Yeah,
Ben was with
sometimes
us.
he goes with us.
Yeah.
And he gets
because
passed
it
around.
doesn't.
Yeah, it was great.
And
Yeah.
he loves it. But if it's just him and I right now, he wants me to be holding him, and so it is. That part is tough because it's like I'm trying to like make him breakfast or get ready or do stuff like that, and you're like, I want to be holding you, but practically he's too old to like fully be in a baby carrier all the time. So it just is tough to sort of meet his emotional needs when it's just him and I one-on-one because there's nobody else there.
Yeah.
The thing about motherhood that I'm learning is that it's constantly changing.
Oh, yeah.
The minute that you figure out like something that works for that season, the season changes. And so, it's like for a while I figured out like, I can put him in a dock towel while I could take a shower. And then obviously he outgrew that. And then you're like, I can put him in a little bouncy thing. And so it just is like I'm constantly having to figure out what works and have a ton of grace for myself and grace for him and invite other people into it. But I have not figured out the working out thing. I bought a treadmill and it just sits there. So.
Gotta get
That'll
him
come
on
in a
it
different
too,
season.
maybe.
So.
I mean, Lauren, you experienced that when Thomas Rhett's on the road
Yeah.
and you've got the 4 girls. Your life looks very similar to Kate and Lindsay's life. How do you make time for your stuff when Thomas Rhett's gone for days at a time as well?
It takes planning that I'm sometimes not great at. Trying not to do anything last minute with kids. It's hard. It's hard for me to plan. But that is like crucial for me because if you've got 4 kids going different directions, you have got to put a plan in place if you are thinking about doing anything outside of that world. But planning for that and having those people in your life you can call and be like, hey, I really wanted to go work out tomorrow morning. Is there any chance you could come sit with the 2 little ones while the big girls are in school? But planning for that, having those people in your life that are like, I would love to hang out for a little bit, or just let them spend the night with me tonight and you go out with your girlfriends or whatever it may be. But then I do have those moments of that temptation of feeling that guilt creep in of like, well, it's just girl time. It's you and the girls. Like you really should be spending your time with them and not doing anything for yourself because, I feel like in every way that mom guilt can creep in. But going back to what Kate said, like if you aren't in that mental space of I am cared for, I do have the capacity to pour out my cup because my cup is full. Like then you are being the mother that you are created to be. Not to say that the Lord can't use you in those weak points where you're like, wow, really, really screwed that up. Because he does. But also, I do think it's much more life-giving to parent from a full cup, whatever that looks like for you. And I think for a lot of moms, no matter what your circumstances are, whether you have all the help in the world or no help at all at the moment, it's hard to leave your kids initially. And then in different stages of life, it gets hard again to leave your kids. And part of you wants to be like, I'm just going to cancel this date, or I'm not going to go on that trip, or you know what, I'm just not going to work out this week because of whatever it is that's pulling you back. Not to say that you can't cancel your plans for your kids. I think there's a time and place for that. But I do think that even in those hard moments where you're like, but my heart really longs to sit here and hold the baby because they're not always going to be this little. But you have to make yourself a priority, even though in your mom heart you really want to just mother well and love your kids and be with your kids. It does feel hard to get the new babysitter. It does feel hard to go away for the night the first time. And that's okay. And you might cry as you're pulling out of the driveway and you might be like, am I messing them up? Are they going to remember this? Are they going to be mad at me when I come home? And I feel like that just, my oldest is 7, but even in older stages, the mom guilt morphs into something new, and you feel like, oh, it's just because they're little. I won't always feel this way. But it's not true.
Mhm.
There's always room for mom guilt to try and creep in. And you have to take those hard steps forward to make sure that you are caring for yourself and filling your cup so that you're able to fill your children's cups too.
Yeah, Kate, what's that experience of the sadness when they leave, but the break from feeding 4 additional people 3 times a day? And how do you learn to balance that? What does it look like to practice that?
When I was married, I was like, the only thing I want is a weekend in my house without my kids to clean up things. You know, I never got that. I never got to be in my house alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first time they went away, I was like, this is terrible. I never want to do this again.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's too quiet. I don't want to do, so I would busy myself. I would go out, I would do things. And then like a few months in, I was like, no, I actually have to sit in this and like let it wash over me. Let it like, you know.
Like get comfortable with it kind of?
Get comfortable with it. And then, so now we're a year and a half, 2 years in, I guess. And now I like cherish those, just the stillness of it. And it still hurts. Like I still, like, you know, today I said goodbye to Annabelle. I dropped her off, and she just gives me the biggest kiss and it's like, I'm going to miss you so much, Mommy. And I'm like, you're going to have a great weekend.
Yeah.
You know? But still, watching her walk away is like, but then when she gets back, it's like, we've been reunited.
Yeah.
Like I've been on a trip, or like she's been on a trip. That's really sweet. It's like I get a chance to miss them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as a mom, like you want that. You want to miss your kids.
You want to feel that sometimes.
Right.
You want to feel that sometimes, you know? So the transition was hard. I mean, it still is some weekends. I mean, kids are different. Like I'm parenting a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old, which is very different.
Yes. And 4 very different personalities. And every day is different on how they react on leaving me or, you know, not wanting to, or, it's still work in progress. Yeah.
You're doing great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey y'all, hope you're enjoying this episode. I'd like to take a little break to talk about an incredible partner we have this season, Crew, and their mission to make the Bible accessible to as many families as they can. It's really crazy to think that so many people don't have access to the Bible the way that we do, but that's the case in so many places around the world, and Crew is changing that. Crew has missionaries in almost every country on earth, and they are seeing people come to know Jesus. There's just one thing they're missing, a Bible in their own language. Throughout the past 2 seasons of the podcast, I've been deeply touched by the incredible response from our listeners who have become generous Crew donors. It warms my heart to know that together we are meeting this crucial need. However, as a missionary has once shared, we have witnessed countless individuals engrossed in reading their Bibles. Please keep us in your prayers as we continue to seek more Bibles for distribution. So I ask y'all to please help me joining in meeting that need. For only $21 a month, you can provide 3 people with Bibles each and every month. When you sign up to provide 3 Bibles with a monthly gift of $21, as a thank you, Crew will provide meals to 15 hungry individuals through their humanitarian aid ministry. Plus, you'll receive a free copy of my book, Live in Love. Simply text Akins to 71326 to help today. Imagine just how much this gift could really change someone's life. So text Akins to 71326, that's AKINS, to 71326 to help now, or visit give.crew.org/Akins. Message and data rates may apply, available to U.S. addresses only. And before we get back to the show, I have one more incredible sponsor I would like you to know about. You know they say that hair care is the new skincare. So let me tell you, there's a brand that has truly raised the bar. That brand is Kitsch. Kitsch has built a dedicated following by creating game-changing essentials that beauty enthusiasts can't stop raving about. They understand that hair care goes beyond just the shower. So no matter your budget or your specific skin and hair type, Kitsch firmly believes that everyone deserves affordable little indulgences throughout the day from morning to night. Back in 2010, Kitsch started out by selling hair ties door to door. It was a story fueled by a dream and the relentless hustle of its founders. Today, Kitsch stands proud as a self-funded, female-founded brand, making waves in the industry and available in over 20,000 retail locations. Kitsch's best sellers include satin pillowcases, caps, and eye masks. Satin is vegan and cruelty-free, and they are so good for your hair and skin while you sleep. Also, heatless satin curling rollers. Say bye-bye to heat damage. These are the original, the OG, and still the best heatless curlers. Don't settle for knockoffs. Get the ones that started the craze. And I personally love the rice water shampoo bars from Kitsch that help with overall hair growth and density, and their rosemary scalp oil that helps support scalp health and hair strength from root to tip, and you come out of the shower smelling like a spa. Right now, Kitsch is offering you 30% off your entire order at mykitsch.com/liveandlove. That's right, 30% off anything and everything at mykitsch, spelled mykitsch.com/liveandlove. One more time, mykitsch.com/liveandlove for 30% off your order.
Lindsey, what's mom guilt comparison like for you? Did it surprise you when you were experiencing it? Do you experience it?
I do. I mean, like, daycare is hard. But it's also been such a gift. Ben, obviously being like an only child, the interaction that he's getting with other kids there and the socialization has been helped him grow leaps and bounds. And I'm watching him, morph in front of my eyes. And his teachers adore him. They call him Angel Baby. And so that just warms, you're like, oh, he's their favorite.
Yeah. He's clearly their favorite.
So he's very well taken care of, and work is good for me. I like thinking about adult problems and how to feel purposeful in trying to create a better world. I work at on-site, and my work is a gift. And I feel like I get to hold those things together well, and I don't have to try to separate the two worlds. I'm free to talk about Ben, and I'm free to fully be myself in both places, which is great.
Yeah.
So, yes, I definitely experience it. Getting away is hard, but it's good. And I think the necessity of the way my life is set up, I really have had to just be okay with it. I realized kind of going in, I was going to make some of those decisions around I'm going to have to figure this out and be the best mom I can be as I work and mother together by myself, but with a lot of people.
And so how much do you involve teachers when TR's going to be on a tour and gone most weeks, right? Or Lindsey, when you put Ben in daycare, how much do you tell the teachers, Kate, about what's going on? How much do teachers play into helping with this?
I love to tell my teachers what's going on
I do
in my
too.
kids' lives, because at our school, they are truly just, oh my word, they love your kids so well, and they pray for your kids, they pray with your kids. And I think the more you can have the people that are leading and caring for your children in the know about what their little hearts are experiencing that is such a gift. Having other people in the community that are helping to raise your children to know where they're at, so that they can, if they do seem a little off at school, they kind of have an idea of probably what they're feeling. And so they're sensitive to that and can give them a little extra love or a little extra space or whatever that child may need at the time. I think it's so important.
I do too. So when everything happened, they went to a different school when everything went down. But when we moved, I don't know if I share too much, but I will share, I want you to know what's happening so you can help my child. And that's sometimes I'll email a teacher in the morning and say, she had a rough morning. She might need this. I don't do it so much with my high schooler.
Yeah, email all 7 teachers.
But but
Daily
I
report.
But the school counselor I am in contact with.
The counselor. Yeah, of course.
And at this school, they have been amazing with my girls, and they give them space. If Abigail's having a day where she needs to lay down and take a nap, they allow her to do that. And also, I feel like once you open that conversation with the teacher, they will also bring you things that they see. Maybe they do that with other parents who don't invite them in, but I feel like the first step of me or like saying, hey, I want you to know what's going on, they then feel that they can also bring to you like, hey, I noticed this about your kid today. And kind of give you feedback as well. I think it's, super important. And I love all the girls' teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Annabelle's teacher, so
You tell her a lot.
You keep her updated
Constant
on how
contact.
things
I
are
keep her
going.
updated. I'm like, she needs extra help today.
Does having other single moms in your life help?
For me, yes. Yeah. It's been huge. And like in the same season. I mean, generally having single moms, but then also some single moms with really young kids.
Oh, yeah. I saw on Instagram you and another friend of ours took your little kids.
Yeah, we
to a
kind of
thing.
like will do like a monthly outing. Some other mothers that have either adopted or fostered and then adopted. And it's just been great. It's like I want Ben to be around other kids that don't have a father, in their house, and that to try to normalize that for him. And like it will be important that I work with teachers to understand like this is the way our family looks and it's a little different. And I like made a little photo book for his daycare that's like got all his people in it so that people like, I just don't, it's crazy because so many of like kid songs like talk about what mama said, like mama says shh on the wheels of the bus. And daddy says I love you. And you're like, I just want him to know early that while his story might be different, that he isn't feeling incomplete and is fully loved, And so I'm going to need teachers to help clue me in on some of that stuff that's happening in school.
Yeah. Lauren, is it helpful for you when you're with other road families? Is it like, is there like a text group of another Saturday and it's just us?
For sure. I feel like, one of our mutual friends, Kaylee, I think her and I, and I've quite a few steps ahead of her just in kid land. But, when we are doing road life or we are home alone or whatever it is, she's always one text away if we are having a hard day or a hard week or like, here's what I just experienced on the road. How about you? It's nice to have that community around you that is also feeling the things, the good, the bad, the confusing, the questions. Even if you can't answer each other's questions, just to be like, yeah, I'm struggling with that too. Let me know if you figure it out. And then at least you're confused together.
Sure. Yeah.
You know how to shower?
Yeah.
Navigating it and not feeling isolated is, I think, crucial. Hey, y'all. Taking another quick break to tell you about another sponsor that makes this show happen. Let's Talk Hydration. It's not only for people training for championships and marathons, it's about a daily maintenance. And in the midst of all the running around and taking care of my 4 amazing girls, I have a simple solution that makes a big difference in my daily routine, Liquid IV, an award-winning hydration product that has helped me stay properly hydrated even in the busiest and most chaotic moments. By just adding 1 stick of Liquid IV to 16 ounces of water, I experience hydration that is 2 times faster and more efficient than water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C, and has 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. I also love that it's made with quality ingredients and is non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy. What I love most about Liquid IV is its convenience. The single serving sticks are perfect for my on-the-go lifestyle, whether I'm rushing to drop off one of my kids at school or running errands or attending their extracurricular activities. I can easily toss a few sticks in my bag and have them ready whenever I need a hydration boost. And their flavors are so good. It's like having a refreshing treat while taking care of my body. And my favorite these days is the strawberry lemonade. But there are so many other options to choose from, including their new sea berry flavor. Liquid IV is more than just a hydration product. They believe in giving back and making a positive impact in the world. Through their partnerships and donations, they have provided over 39 million servings of hydration to communities in need around the globe. And it's so inspiring to get to support a company that cares about both our well-being and the greater good. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code LIVEINLOVE at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code LIVEINLOVE at liquidiv.com. And before we finish this episode, I have something I want to share with you. So did you know that an estimated 5 billion plastic hand soap and cleaning bottles are thrown away every year? And if that's not bad enough, most cleaning formulas are 90% water, which is heavy to ship, leading to excessive carbon emissions. Plus, those products are often filled with nasty ingredients like chlorine and ammonia. That's a lose-lose situation for you and for the planet. There's an amazing company doing something about it, and they're called Blue Land. They are on a mission to help the environment by getting rid of single-use plastic. Blue Land has special cleaning products that you can refill over and over again. They come in really nice bottles that look awesome on your counter, and all you have to do is fill the bottles with water, drop in the tablets, and watch them dissolve. They really have made it so easy. And the best part is that you'll never have to worry about carrying heavy cleaning supplies from the grocery store. Blue Land refills start at just $2.25, and you can even set up a subscription or buy in bulk to save even more money. They have everything you need for cleaning, from sprays to hand soap, toilet bowl cleaner, and even laundry tablets. And guess what? All their products are made with clean ingredients that are safe for you and the environment. I really love their Clean Essentials kit. It has 3 bottles of cleaner and a bottle of hand soap. Plus, the light scents are so nice, like iris agave, fresh lemon, and eucalyptus mint. And some exciting news for y'all, Blue Land has a special offer just for our listeners. You can get 15% off your first purchase of any Blue Land product. To get 15% off your first order, go to blueland.com/liveinlove. You won't want to miss this. blueland.com/liveinlove. That's blueland.com/liveinlove.
What have you learned that you didn't know? Like, what could you say to those of us who have not been single moms? What's something we need to know that you didn't know before this was your life?
I'm capable of a lot more than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Just having to hold my emotional state and their emotional state. I feel, kind of like a superhero sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard, but I did today.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what it is. It's taking it one day. Like, getting through that one day. And I don't know. And leaning on and being honest with those around you and saying, this is what I need right now.
Yes.
I'm not great at asking for help always because I want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's been something like, no, I need help, and I can't always do it on my own. So, yeah, and that my kids are like, they're strong.
Yeah. Resilient.
Yeah, they're super strong and have taught me a lot about myself in all of this as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Lindsey, what have you learned being a single mom for the last 18
I think
months?
that, there's just not one way or one right way to do things. Like, that every kid is different, every family is different, and that you've got to figure out what works for you and them in the season, and just, I think, having grace, and being open-handed about how it all comes together, is just essential.
Yeah,
But
being
it's
okay with the
easy. I
mess.
do think that it's really easy to buy into the mom narratives and feel pressure about how you're supposed to do things.
Yeah.
And so you just got to turn it off and be like, this is what's working for us. And, he seems well attached to me, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
You know, like down the
Yeah.
road. That
Yeah.
really
Oh,
is all
man.
that counts. Like,
Yeah. You can say that
any
again.
one strong attachment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren, let's finish up with, if you just have any encouraging words for your friends that are listening that are single moms, maybe they're new to it
Mm-hmm.
by choice or not.
Mm-hmm.
How would you encourage the single moms?
I feel like I go back to this every season, but community, I think, is key, because that's where you can get out in the open what you're really feeling. That's where you have to have a solid community that you feel like you can go and have a safe place to voice what you feel, so that you can begin to process that with someone who is a safe place, and someone who can speak truth, someone who can stand with you, someone who can encourage you. And if community is something that you are struggling to find, because I know that is a lot of people's stories. You know, I was just talking to a friend the other day. As believers, like, the Lord is so kind and so generous with his giving. And as your father, if you come to him and say, hey, I have a need and I need you to fill that need. So many times in my life, I just sometimes forget to ask him for things. Like, say, I don't have this. My heart longs for this. I need a safe place to speak this truth. I think if you can pray that prayer and ask your heavenly Father to give you that space to start to process and heal, I believe he will bring that to you. And but you have to also meet him halfway. Like, I believe he will bring that person or those people into your life, but you have to have the courage and the bravery to step out and be like, hey, could we go get coffee one day? Or like, hey, I would love to talk more about this. And it takes having courage and being bold sometimes. And some of us don't have personalities that feels easy. But we were actually told that this would not be easy.
Yeah.
And so whatever you are going through that doesn't feel easy, chances are one of the four of us have been through that same valley and or very similar valley, and you can do it. You can do it. Just like Kate was saying, like she said, I feel like I'm a superhero. And she is. Like she is like true day superhero. It makes me like choked up just to think about it, because I feel like sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves as moms and as women. And I think if we can choose to see ourselves in the way that, like, the Lord is just so proud of us and the things that we do out of love and the things that we do that do feel scary, but we take that step anyways. Like, he's so proud of you and we are so proud of you, and you can do it, and it will be hard, and it might not be easy tomorrow or the next day or next week, but at some point it will get easier, and you will look back and you will be like, I am a superhero. Like, I did do this, and the Lord does care for me, and we care for you, and you can do it. And it is hard, and that's okay. And we stand with you in that too.
Yeah. Lindsey and Kate, thank y'all for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
It is a real gift. So thank you. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was such an important conversation, Lauren. I'm so thankful that we got to hear from Lindsey and Kate about what it looks like to be a parent, a single parent in your household. I thought that was so important.
Yeah, it really was so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got to do that.
Me too.
And I really hope that y'all join us for the next episode of our Live in Love podcast, where we get to sit down with my sweet husband, Thomas Rhett, and we get to talk about what it looks like to live in love on Father's Day.